Welcome to Ambrose Manor. We were not expecting company. Please follow. Do not stray from the path.
Don't worry. Little fella, we're mostly law-abiding folk. Oh no, we should check to see he's all right.
Been there, little guy.
3 canned responses. How clumsy of this unit. These things have an oh calamity. Query. Are you upside down?
Big empty windows. Feels like the building's watching me. Oh, law, I'm getting goosebumps.
Keep your guard up. Could be all manner of surprises in there. I take it back. Ain't nothing here but memories.
It's so empty. Oh, Captain, something here don't feel right. Oh my law, this is just like that episode of Virginia Yang, Girl Detective, where the old fella dies and his nurse inherits his house. What if we find a body?
Think they've ever tried to use this while the fireplace was on?
So who the devil are you? You don't say. Well, make yourself at home, Captain. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass. To Gorgon. To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star. I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose. Now, what brings you to my house, gorgeous? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry sky. A severed arm? How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop? Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles. But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now? Thank you. But the people in my orbit come and go all the time. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback. Excellent deduction. I can tell I found the... How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent...
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I ain't know about. You're awful quick to trust a bunch of strangers that broke into your...
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon research facility. She was brilliant. The top sci... One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother... never made it home. I'm told...
It must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying. Why, indeed? To cover up their crimes? To discredit someone who knew too much? Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid. I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forget.
Maybe so, Captain, but I can't help feeling family should come first.
Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for... We got close once. When I was a child, I enjoyed looking over Mother's shoulder, playing backseat chemist while she peered into... One day, she told me to leave before I broke something. Then, I got mad and broke something. Typical night in the Ambrose house.
Oh, that hurts my heart to hear, ma'am. My dad was real dedicated to his work, too, but he always let me help. Made me feel, I don't know, special.
Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle. I don't know. And Spacer's Choice won't say. They don't discuss anything that tarnishes their... Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. No doubt someone is out there who could talk. Someone involved in Mother's research. Then again, why pay for silence when you can buy it for the low, low cost of a bullet? The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the path. I don't place bets on uncertain odds. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. Even all the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on... I'm not surprised. between the family drama and the corporate conspiracy. Speak freely. I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate. I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have access. I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned. And it can break back into high society, yeah. That's the Ambrose spirit, I suppose. Aim high, curse the heavens when you fall short, and live to fight. The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the my future as the head of the Ambrose family business. This colony is in trouble. The lunatics at SAPCER'S Choice are running the asylum, and we need better people to After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better term. That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother. I know it. You know as much as I do, I'm afraid. SAPCER'S Choice abandoned Gorgon, but the asteroid is far from unoccupied. Between the marauders, the wildlife, and whatever escaped the Your guess is as good as mine. I know that SAPCER'S Choice bred canids, especially for Gorgon. They were supposed to act as living cattle prods. By now, they've probably gone. Just watch yourself. I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence were to blame for the calamity at Gorgon. Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult. Cold. Then my family's disgrace. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my chances. I believe that covers it all. Are you ready to get started? You do all that for me? I was hoping you'd take the job, but... I believe you're the first person to ever side with me against the... When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks. I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to Then there's the test subjects. Those who survived anyway. I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our time together spinning a pistol around his index finger. Not sure he listened to any.
More bravado than talent, huh?
He had an aura of rugged individualism that was quite... But you won't let... There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would...
I ought to stop in and taste the local...
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing... Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your... Finally, I get to put my inheritance... Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels. A word of advice before you go. Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't named.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful employment. It's like something out of a...
Salvage rights and a paycheck? This is almost too...
In orbit above Gorgon.
Well, here we... Hey, is that a saloon? I feel better already.
Evacuation in progress. Spacer's Choice is not responsible for any its possessions or loved ones left behind.
Keep an eye out, Captain. This place don't look entirely safe.
I got supplies if you need them. No one lasts long on Gorgon unprepared. Is that what my thoughts sound like? Law, I've been standing near that. You looking for supplies, stranger? Let's stock up here. If you run low on... Let me know if you're looking... You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard of... Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten. All right, you know you bet. Just be sure you watch out for the Marauders. You watch out for Marauders, Mance, and Charles from accounting, and you'll probably be fine. Only the meanest Marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite. He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like... No. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them... That ain't right. Well, I warned you. If you run off and get exploded to death by a madman with a rocket launcher... Yeah. The Marauder camp way out to the east. That's what I heard. And I sure hope you're asking so you can keep us... Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. Something to do with that scrap project Gorgon from... Thanks for turning it off, by the way. I'd have lost my mind if the damn thing had gone on much longer. We tried. Couldn't persuade the No one round here is particularly mechanically inclined, and no one was gonna shut it down by force. I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a top. Only that Spacer's Choice shut it. From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. Found a pickaxe in the mine like none I've ever seen before. Could be off.
Come here. Let's have a chat. Don't want to chat? Fine. You're on my list now, bub. All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Want to run that by me again? Feisty one. Well, fuck you too. You're cleared to go downstairs. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of... Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women. First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty. Just don't ask me to Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer. I make sure this...
That's us.
Well, I hope you look the other way.
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And I hate dirt. This is a sublight bar, so most of our regulars come to... The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate. Something bad happened here. Spacer's choice. Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10 to 1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the history of the Sprat Shack, stay cool.
Oh, ugh. This place smells like Felix's birth.
Been an age since I had a good tripicale. Hope they've got it on tap.
You're a humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief.
I can't steal what's lawfully mine, you tangle-footed dimwit.
Break it up, you two. I've heard more than enough of your shit for one day.
That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then.
I risked my life sneaking around Marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it. Eat fist!
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment! You want to make a mess?
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a...
It's the same fight every day. 5 years we've been at this, and we still can't agree on how to properly... Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly, or I'll forbid you to come here at all.
Here, here. Boys are for drinking. The poor decisions that result are better...
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout. And we'll...
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other. Would you do me a favor and weigh in as a third party? I can use an unbiased set of eyes on the problem, and an outsider like... Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this... So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right? I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh.
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the Marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me. Sorry.
Anyway, that's my story. I drew an X in the dirt, with my toe. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for... You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
Thank you. Blah, it's hard to get a fair trial in this sprat.
You'll pay for this. I don't know how, and I'm not sure when, but just you...
Here's a six-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change. I'll write to Lilia Hagen in the corporate office on Groundbreaker. She'll get some haulers to drag it away. It'll take a while. Nothing happens fast around these parts. But at least the salvage would... A little too often if you ask me, but that's the sublight way. Anything worth doing is worth... Come and chat if you're ever...
That's my captain.
Smooth talking, Cap.
It ain't fair. That salvage was mine first.
This rock ain't much to look at, but it's our rock.
Are you my agent on the ground?
Sorry?
I've been sent to meet a certain someone about a certain piece of merchandise. They're supposed to use a secret code phrase.
Can't help you. I'm just here to drink.
That's the code phrase. It is you.
Quiet down. You're making a scene.
You here for salvage or merchandise?
This is the best joint in the... Is that right?
You think the folks here like strangers? Because some of them are looking at us like, maybe not.
The repurposed aesthetic reminds me of Fallbrook.
Jerome would have loved this place. You don't look like one of the salvagers, no? You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journey... You're kidding, right? This rock is littered with so many journals, law. I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself. Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but... It is to me, but apparently it's... My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled. Nowhere good. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. Jerome won. I lost. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. A broken heart, that's... This place is greedy. It took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. No point in denying it, he died on this rock, likely torn apart by marauders, unless he took... I don't like to imagine what happened. You'd really do that for me? Law, and I'll bet you... I don't have much, but if you help me, there's a little set aside for the occasion. Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Yeah? The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. They wanted to change the world. A tenfold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? Who wouldn't salivate at the thought? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everyone in its path.
This is a family business. Chin up, look sharp.
Soon as I sober up, I'm heading back to the ruins.
Who's this now? Nah, who am I kidding? Holy shit, a fresh face. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system. Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left. Me? Nah. Never been a pugilistic kind of guy. Did most of my fighting with a pen back when I did it at all. Nowadays, at least Lex has got the good manners to let me do it for... Hey, whoa, no call for insults. I was a journalist, thank you. A contributing member of our great society. Got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of public intellectual. What a joke. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life. If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small...
You know, that reminds me. I don't think you've ever actually paid me.
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone. Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was active. I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said. Right on the money. Look at me, I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you, help me get my recordings back so I can finally... Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing. Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always... so I took to hiding them all over. Thought I was so clever. Oh, Georgie? Yeah, she helped me with interviews. A real whiz with the portable recorder. When things got crazy, I shoved her onto the last ship off Gorgon. With any luck, she's safe and... She tried every which way to stay, but it was my contract keeping us here, not hers. Didn't seem fair she'd have to suffer just because I made a... I've got some bits saved up. Haven't had anything to spend them on but beer. And Lex has been letting me drink for free. It's nothing extravagant, you know, journalist salary and all. No shit? All right. One of them I stashed in the Office of Creative Incubation, in the projector room on the 3rd floor. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI's upper entrance. You'll find another in the chem. It's in the main lab storage room. The final one is in Human Inquiry and Oddity. It's tucked behind a pipe in Observation Room B. What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly... Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you.
What's the story with this place anyhow?
Used to be a shipping warehouse. Supplies came in, deadly chemicals went out.
Who told you that?
I worked here back in the day.
You're pulling my leg.
Yep.
Sorry about Freddy and Trixie. When they're not fighting over salvage, they're fighting over the bed sheets at... They like to blow off steam during work hours, but as soon as they clock out, they turn into a pair of... Welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the house, and I won't even water it down. Bottoms up. I assume you're here for salvage. Even if I did, I ain't supposed to play favorites. Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day. Vicious cycle, but that's life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while. Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why the asteroid smells like an old gym. They say Adrenatime came from here. Just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very... Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal. When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Most of it stayed where it fell, and all of it... Of course, the real treasure is whatever's locked up in the old facility, until someone figures a way to crack it open. I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, Adrenatime still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own, but I think... Roscoe might tell you more. He spent some time around here before the bar opened up. And I trust... There's always Leonora, my favorite customer over in the storage room on the 2nd floor. Keeps to herself and always closes out her tab. Nice lady. Been coming around a lot these past few months. She isn't with Sublight, but seems to know the lay of the land. She spends most of her days drinking alone. I think she's looking to hire someone. If you're open to a side gig. No kidding. Ugh, what a shame. I owe her one on the house. When Spacer's Choice pulled out, a lot of people found themselves adrift. The ones with nowhere to settle ended up here. He's been here since opening day. I think he told he got left behind when Spacer's Choice pulled out. And I guess no one's coming to get. He didn't tell me and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender. Not if you believe the chatter, a lot of good folks got left behind and a lot of bad folks made it out. Sometimes Roscoe's drinks are on the house. We all know how it feels to get left behind. He'll be all right. He's with the family now. What are friends for? Lucky. Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a good guy. Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation, just down the road. The way he talked about the job, you just knew Lucky had hit pay dirt. Not that I was jealous. Around here, that sort of luck can be hazardous to your health. Awful shame about what happened to him. You really want to hear my story? Law, most everyone around here is sick to death of. Last I saw of Lucky was a few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off. Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm. Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent the bar. So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp. I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished business. 3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind. Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me. Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon days. When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved in to salvage what we could. Yes and no. Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the Sprat. If there were any legal problems with this place...
You think a Sprat could own Edgewater? Oh, imagine one wearing Mr. Thompson's little hat!
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules. I know there's paperwork backing it up. You put enough stamps and staples on anything, The beautiful thing is, no one could tell Matt Sprat apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point, to send the authorities on a wild Sprat chase. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. The Sprat Shack's gone through a lot of title holders over the years. As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head-scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so... Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint, keeping the riffraff. They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential. What? Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony, mostly on the way to somewhere better. That's how we get the unconventional goods anyhow. Sublight keeps us well stocked with the essentials. I'll set 'em up. What have you got there?
Adrenatime, I think. Found some in an old busted crate.
Think they stick the preservative in before or after the eye comes out?
I really hope this ain't a sign of things to come. Someone's in here. Hold on. It's coming back up again. I'm all right. That last one really emptied my guts. No, wait. Here comes more.
Where are we headed?
I've eaten my fair share of tarot eyes, but I'm still gonna come out and say it. This mission is gross.
You think this... Place we're headed will tell us more about Gorgon? I wonder what... that they got up to here.
What can... Oh.
This unit is currently in wait. Please return. Have a better...
We ship in some sulfur, and it'll be like I'm back home.
Are all these marauders former townsfolk?
Here we go. See, Monarch ain't the only pet project the board's willing to abandon.
Whatever happened here must have been real bad. If Spacer's Choice just up and abandoned it. worry, Mr. Lucky Spirit. We're gonna finish your work.
Hey, don't forget to close your...
You find anything out there? Looking for something. I gave it... That's it, all right. Law. Still... Here. I saved up for this, just in case I needed to go out into the ruins myself. Truth be told, you didn't happen to find anything else out there, did you? A marauder? You're telling me he's been alive all this time? Don't tell me that's the end of it. Was there anything else? You're right. My Jerome deserved better. But deserving isn't the same as getting in this rot. Jerome got me out of Gorgon. I can honor his memory by staying out. Time to hit the dusty trail. Be seeing you, stranger.
I think you did the right thing, Captain, but I hope she doesn't try to go after...
That was good of you, Cap. It's better to know.